Welcome back to Just Jasmine Black podcast. If you are a returning user, welcome home. Welcome home. I missed you. If you are new here, welcome to the family. Take your shoes off and sign your name on the wall. And what I mean by sign your name on the wall, you ever go to those restaurants and they have that wall dedicated to people just putting their signature there, putting a message there, just anything, just to let the world know that they were there. That's how I treat the comment section of my podcast. So wherever you are listening to this podcast, write on the wall, write in the comment section, write your Instagram names, put a message, say anything. I just want to know that you were here. And if you can't find the comment section to the podcast where you're listening to it to, go to the Instagram, Just Jasmine Black Podcast, and write something under any post, in the message, anywhere. I just want to know that you were here. So welcome to all. Today, we are going to be taking a dive into the aha moments. Aha. Yes, aha moments are these pivotal moments of realization. Those instances, y'all know I got a list. Them instances in our lives where clarity hits us like lightning and everything changes. Rather, it's a sudden realization that just shifts our perspective, a lesson learned from a mistake, or unexpected insight that lights our path forward. These moments can redefine who we are. Join me as I share a few stories on how these realizations impacted me and how they shaped my future. Let's uncover this magic together. Let's get into it. So today is October 2nd, you guys. And these months are moving so fast. I think time is just moving so fast in general. And it's the holidays are going to be here very soon. Like we're here already. We're approaching Halloween, then it's Thanksgiving, then it's Christmas, and then it's the New Year. And look, November is next month. You might as well just start buying everything you need for Thanksgiving now. The paper plates, the food, okay? You might as well just start getting everything now because it's going to be here so fast. And that leads me to aha moment number one. My very first aha moment that I remember happened on Thanksgiving. I was about 14 years old and family had came from all over. We used to throw really big Thanksgiving parties when I was younger. And my grandparents came and other relatives came to see my grandparents, the relatives that you don't really know like that, but your grandparents say you're related somehow, some way. Yeah, all of them, their kids, kids, and then my immediate family and everybody, and then friends and the whole shebang, right, for Thanksgiving. And we had paper plates and paper cups and utensils, and we thought we had enough. And next thing I know, people start getting the real plates. They start taking out the real plates, the real forks, the real cups. And I just saw the dishes just piling up, not to include the dishes that was already used to prepare Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, so we got all the Thanksgiving dishes, and now all the paper plates and the paper cups and the plastic utensils are all gone. And now people are using the real thing. Okay, so the sink is just piling, the counters are piling, and it's just coming in. I never once thought that the Thanksgiving dishes was going to be on me and me by myself. I did not think that at all, okay? But once everything was done and finished, my mother looked at me and said, "I'm tired. Can you do the dishes?" Listen, y'all for me to remember this moment and for it to make this list, yeah, I was terrified. I was very afraid because I thought that I was going to be in there for the next 2 days. I thought I was going to be in the kitchen for the next 2 days. So, of course, I had to. I didn't have no choice. I'm the oldest. My siblings are much younger. So even if they did try to help me, they would just be in my way because they're too young. So the only thing that came across my mind was, oh my God, I'm going to be in this kitchen all night and to the next day. Well, I went in there and I started doing the dishes, and I was done in about 45 minutes to an hour. And when I got done, I stood back and I said, oh my God, I'm done. And I still have time to go enjoy my cousins and to go play with go play the games that the family was playing and go talk to people before they leave, because I thought I was going to miss out on Thanksgiving because I was in there doing dishes. And I didn't start the dishes when everybody left. I started the dishes when everything died down. And because I knew everybody was going to be leaving late that night. And I just couldn't believe that I was terrified to do something that only took an hour. And that changed my perspective on not being a procrastinator. At 14 years old, I had that aha moment. And it caused me to be a doer. It caused me to be a doer. It caused me to just do things because it's probably not as bad as you think, Jazz. Remember that one time at Thanksgiving? You thought that was going to... I had that same attitude towards homework moving forward. I had that attitude towards anything that I felt like was going to take a long time. I would always ask myself, but what if it doesn't? Remember that one time at Thanksgiving? So that was a very big, important realization for me because I overthought the whole entire process. I overthought it. It did not take me more than an hour to get it done. And I thought about all the things in life. Well, I'm happy I learned that lesson young because a lot of people don't realize that they're overreacting to a lot of things until later in life, or that they overreacted until later. So I'm happy that I learned that lesson at 14 because I didn't really have to learn that lesson too much more because I always thought about Thanksgiving at 14 and how I thought it was going to take forever and it literally only took 1 hour. So that shifted my mind from 14 and up. So that is aha moment number 1. Let's get into moment number 2. So a lot of you guys know that I used to be a dancer. I used to be an exotic dancer from 18 years old to 29 years old. So that is about 2009 to 2020. And I'm sorry if my math is wrong, but that's the year I remember dancing. And one day I was in the club in Atlanta and we were having a big party for Floyd Mayweather fight. We used to do these fight night parties at the club. And the club was starting to get full. And I was just making conversation with the customers because it was early in the night. So it wasn't time to, really get activated and start moving around. And I just sat down, started talking to this guy. I said, everybody knows Floyd is going to win. Floyd wins all the time. Why do people still rush to and pay all this money to see Floyd fight when you could just have the assumption he's going to win because he was undefeated at that time? And he said to me, because people are finally waiting for the day that he loses. And I said, oh my God. I never thought about that. Wait. And this still is mind blowing to me. As simple as it is, it's still mind blowing to me to this day. He said, people are not coming to see Floyd win. They're coming to see the day that he finally loses. Wow. That shifts a lot of things for me because I always thought that when people supported you and liked you and rooting for you, that they always did. I never thought that maybe there comes a time where people finally, the people that once loved you, liked you, and supported you, get bored with that. Now it's time to see you fail. Now it's time to see you fall. Now it's time to see your undefeatedness end. Who's going to defeat you now? I never thought that your supporters can turn into people who are now supporting you to fail. And that was another major aha moment for me. That Floyd Mayweather comment made me realize a lot of things because I went through that type of thing in my life personally where friendships would just switch up, or what I thought was friendships or supporters or whatever. And now in my life, that makes me know one thing, that even with my audience, I have to be true to myself because I never know what's being done and who's who and what's going on. And honestly, it's none of my business. I have to just stay true to myself and do what I feel is right and just continue to be myself and continue to win and do my thing, because you never know when the crowd is showing up to watch you finally lose. That is such an amazing aha moment for me, because I have decentered everything, all opinions, what people think, what people like, what people don't like. I have decentered all that. And the only thing that matters is Jasmine's mission, what Jasmine is doing, and if Jasmine is happy with it. That's all that matters. Although I love my audience, I have to be me. And I have to just hope that people are genuinely supporting me and genuinely here to watch me win, and that can relate to my winning, and that my winning helps them, and that my winning may inspire them. Even my failures. Even if you're here to watch me fail, you're still watching me win, because I don't even view failure as failure. My failure is going to help someone learn not to do what I did. My failure helps me learn not to do what I did again, because I'm definitely going to get back up and do it again. I'm definitely going to get back up and try it again, all the way into my last breath. There's really never no true thing such as failure to me. So that was life-changing aha moment number 2. Sometimes people are showing up to finally watch you lose. Aha. I know y'all probably wondering where I get that from, saying it like that. I think it was the Despicables. Something with that like accent. Whatever culture does the aha, like they talk like that. That's where I got it from. But moving on to aha moment number 3. And I know a lot of women are going to be able to relate to this one. In 2020, I gave birth to my youngest son, Major. And I hadn't had a kid in, how old were they? So Mikhail is 11, Major is 3. They are 8 years apart. So I haven't had a kid in 8 years. And I had no idea how was I going to structure my schedule and this new baby. I just knew I wanted another baby. I had the baby and it was like, oh shoot. What about the gym? What about work? What about content? What about I had to figure that all out. And one day, I don't know what happened or what was said. I know a light bulb came over my head, because I remember I was complaining to Malik, their dad, about how it just wasn't enough time for me, and how was I going to get to everything, and you have to go to work and you have to go do this, and then when you get home you're tired, there's never enough time for me. And I said, wait, I can get up before the baby. He's like, huh? I was like, wait, you leave at 7, I could get up at 5. The baby doesn't wake up till 8. So between 5 and 8, I can get work done. All I have to do is wake up earlier. And he was like, okay. I said, I'm gonna call you right back. I sat there. And I know some of these ahas, you guys are like, duh. But no, it's not that simple when your mind is running a mile an hour, okay? Wait, that's way too long. When your mind is racing a mile a minute, you have this baby, you're just trying to get enough sleep to have enough energy for him, and this and that, and you just sit there and you're like, how am I going to do this? And then we have habits. Some of us don't know how to break our habits. Some of us don't even realize we're in habit. And that's what the aha moment was about for me. I realized I'm in habit. I have a habit of going to bed at 9 o'clock. I don't have to go to bed at 9 o'clock. I can go to bed at 8. It's things I can do to rearrange this schedule. I can go to bed at 8, and it was just so simple as realizing I can break the habit of being used to going to bed at 9 and getting up at 7 or 8. Just get up 2 hours before. Go to bed a little bit earlier. Just move some things around. Get out of habit. So that's what that aha moment taught me. Get out of habit, break some habits to create some new habits, or to make room for new things going on in your life and things that you want to do. Make room. That was the 2 things I took from that. Break habits and make room. If there's things you want to do, don't say that you can't. Don't say you don't have enough time. Create it. Make it. And that was just, it's such a small one, but it was a big one for me, because moving forward, I decided to make time. I was not going to complain about having a new baby. I was going to figure out how to do it. So this is what ended up happening. I ended up waking up slightly earlier, and I ended up going to the gym when the baby was asleep at night. So it got a little crazy for a second. So I started going to the gym after 8 o'clock. I would only go for 1 hour. I would come back, I would go to sleep, and I would wake up before the baby to get my work done. So that aha changed my perspective. Another aha moment that I had in my life recently, actually, as I am kicking down the door to my fear of speaking, I had to prepare myself by listening to other podcaster women. And I ran across the amazing, the intelligent, the amazing, the brilliant Mel Robbins. And I was deep diving on Mel Robbins and listening to a lot of Mel Robbins episodes. And one particular episode, she said, get up and say, I get to do this. Versus waking up and saying, I have to do the chores, I have to go to the store, I have to edit this video, I have to create content, I have to. Have to sounds like an obligation. It sounds like something that's forced. It sounds like something you don't want to do. It definitely doesn't sound like something you appreciate to do. And she said, get up and say, I get to. Wow. I get to do the chores today. I get to edit this video. I get to create content. I get to pick my kids up from school. I get to do all these things. And that was powerful. The next day, I literally woke up and said, I get to clean. I get to edit this video. I get to relax today. That's literally was my mindset the next day I woke up. And even if I had to go to work, I would have woke up and said, I get to go to work today. That was so, once again, one of those small things that just was like, wow. Because there are a lot of days that I wake up and the obligations that I do have, they sound like burdens. And even the way we speak about them out loud, they sound like burdens. The way we complain about our lives, we sound like we don't want to do them. We don't, it can even get a little darker and say, you sound like you don't even want to be here. It doesn't sound like gratitude when we wake up complaining about all the things that we get to do with our day. Now, I can understand, there's probably things that we would rather be doing, but just to even get to do those things and wake up and have those problems is still a blessing. So thank you, Mel Robbins. That helped transform the way I view my days, and even the days where there are things that I'd rather be doing something else with, but thank you. That was a shifting time for me. So waking up and just changing the way that I speak about my day is impactful. It was powerful. And I appreciate the amazing, wonderful Mel Robbins for that. Last aha moment. Well, I have two more. Well, I have one more after this. Okay. So I have two. Here are the last two aha moments I've had. So my grandfather was passing away. He was sick. He was in a hospital. He was in ICU, and he was coming up on his last days. I didn't have a lot of money. I had a home. I had a new baby, which was Mikkel, the older one. And so I called around and was looking for a buddy pass. This is when the buddy passes were like a really big thing. Like everybody, if you get your hands on a buddy pass, you was doing something, So I called around, and we had a family friend who worked at the airlines, and they had a family pass, which is like a buddy pass. So this is how a buddy pass works back then. For those who do not know, a buddy pass was a free seat on the airplane, but you was only able to get the free seat, if I'm not mistaken, if the plane was not full, if there was a seat available. So most people would get a buddy pass if you were going somewhere uncommon, like Alaska on a Wednesday, or if you're going to like Arkansas. You would just have these assumptions. You would just have to take a gamble on when to get a buddy pass, or if you just had time to spare. So let's say there was a wedding and you don't have to be there for 2 days. You would take the buddy pass because you have 2 days to spare in case the flight is full, because if the flight is full, you have to wait for the next flight and the next flight and the next flight. So if you have time to spare, some people would use a buddy pass. I do not advise you using a buddy pass if you have to be somewhere on a timeline, because you never know if you're going to get a seat or not. So buddy passes are for people who have time to spare, or if you're going somewhere uncommon, and that's pretty much it, because there's no other reason you should be using a buddy pass, because it's unpredictable. So I took the buddy pass because I had the assumption that nobody was going to Kansas on a Wednesday from Philadelphia. Like, what would people in Philadelphia be doing going to Kansas? I was wrong. The flight was full 3 times. I had to wait 3 times with a baby in the airport. So these were hours on hours, almost a full day of flights. I had to wait because I went to the airport with the assumption that people from Philadelphia were not going to Topeka, Kansas. That was an aha moment for me, because a lot of us have this perspective of the world that's not nowhere near true. We think that people all over the world aren't moving around and doing what they want to do and doing certain things, and you would just be amazed at the things that is going on in this world right now, midday. And so I just had a crazy assumption that people, I don't even think it was a crazy assumption. I think it was a valid. It's like, who the heck is going to Kansas, and why are you going to Kansas today? But it helped me because I had such a small perspective on the world. I think that everybody is pretty much doing the same thing during the same time. Like, I probably thought everybody was taking a nap around 12 o'clock. I figured everybody eat lunch around this time. I'm the type of person that, I used to be the type of person that would probably start a business and say, oh, no one's going to want this. No one's going to attend this. And that situation with me going to Kansas changed my perspective on everything. I think there's something out there for everybody. I think any business could work. It just depends on your demographic. I mean, you may have to find your tribe, you may have to find your people, you may have to find your audience, but there's something out there for everybody. There's an audience out there for everybody. There is something going on that people are at right now. It was just mind blowing to me to see planes and planes full of people going from Philadelphia to Kansas. And every person that got on the plane, I was just like, and it was all types of people, black, white, everybody. It was all types of people getting on this plane. And I just was looking like, what are these people doing? Where are they going? Who do you know there? I just was like, wow, I was wrong. I was happily humbled, because I'm happy that changed my perspective, because if that plane wasn't full or people weren't going to Kansas on a Wednesday, my perspective would have stayed the same. See, people don't go to Kansas on a Wednesday from Philadelphia. See, I told you, no one does that. I love when something challenges my perspective, because it helps me break the cycle of thinking things that's not true or having these assumptions. So I loved it. And that taught me to not assume about anything. So now, anytime I want to do something, I believe there's people that want to do it too, or that want to hear it too, or that want to be a part of it too. That aha moment made me break. That aha moment made me break assumptions that I have that I should not have, because I did not know what people were doing on a Wednesday in Philadelphia. Last one. Here's my last aha moment. A friend of mine had planned a play date for me and my son and her son. And the day had came for them to play. And I said, I'm going to go ahead and cancel. And she said, why? And I said, it's raining. And she said, so? And I was like, well, who goes out in the rain? It's like cloudy, it's nasty outside, it's raining. I'm like, what, like, you're supposed to cancel plans and when it's raining. Like, when I was growing up, everybody canceled things because it was raining. There was times I didn't go to work because it was raining. I mean, it's raining. Like, everybody knows that. And she's like, no, we don't cancel plans because it's raining. And everything we're doing is indoors anyway. So why would we care that it's raining? And I was like, I don't know. Like, that's just, I don't know. It feels weird to still go outside and it's raining. So she came anyway. And we did our plans anyway. And the boys had so much fun. And that changed my perspective again. With my assumption again that people aren't doing things when it's raining. I think a lot of us grew up with that saying too, like people saying that, oh, it's raining, girl, it's raining. I think we grew up around people who made excuses not to live their best life, people who made excuses not to complete their day, people who made excuses not to chase their dreams, people who made excuses not to show up. And I wanted to stop a play date that ended up being a really, really good day because it was raining. And if it wasn't for my friend saying, no, we're not going to cancel the plan, and the boys are excited because it's raining. And if she wouldn't have said that, I would have just hung up the phone and do what we normally do. We cancel plans when it rains. I would have just hung up the phone and just rescheduled for another day. Another form of procrastination, unnecessarily giving up on something for no reason. So we went to the movie theaters. They watched the movie. I think we went to Sky Zone, the little trampoline place. I think we came back to my house and we had wine on the couch and the boys played, and it was an amazing day. No one never cared about the rain, not one time. Just to run to the car and run into the movie theater. I think by the time we got to Sky Zone, the rain wasn't even that bad. I think the sun had even peaked out at one point. Aha moments are lessons. Aha moments are signals. Aha moments are messages. And if you pay attention, you can get your message and it could change your life. And you're supposed to be paying attention along the way. And if you're not getting these aha moments or not remembering them, reflect on your life tonight. Because it's not too late. Just because you didn't receive the message then, don't mean you can't go back and reflect and get the messages that you missed. I hope in this episode today, I made you think about some aha moments that you've had in your life. Maybe you've had a few during this podcast. You can use mine. Maybe me sharing my moments with you is your moment. These moments can change our lives. These moments can save our lives. These moments can prevent us from making mistakes further on. That's exactly what they're for. A lot of my moments changed my perspective, which helps me have a better future and a better outcome. And it gave me lessons to pass on to my friends, my family, my children, and to you. And I'm happy that you allowed me to share them today. If there was an aha moment that you related to, write it on the wall. If there is an aha moment that you want to share, write it. Tell me about it. Send it to me. I could do a part 2 of this episode and share some of you guys' aha moments. Or if I come across some more aha moments in my life from today moving forward, I will do a part 2 of this for you guys, because I love listening to these moments too, because I learned from you. I learned from videos. I learned from other content creators. I've learned. And that's one thing about me. I'm not a touch the fire to know that it's hot girl. You could tell me about a fire. I will believe you. I don't have to touch it to find out. So I enjoy learning lessons from people. I enjoy listening to people's stories because I learn a lot. I really do. And I'm very empathic, so I could feel it. I could feel your sincerity. I could feel your being very genuine. I could put myself in your shoes. So I know how to learn lessons through people. And we'll talk more about that on another podcast, because that's also how I've been able to avoid things generationally. I can see people go through things and get the lesson out of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you. Make sure you write your name on the wall. If you're new here, welcome to the family. If you are returning, welcome home. I love you guys. And until next time, I'm out.